I got found by People magazine. They wanted to feature my hair bow. Lady Gaga actually sourced 1,200 items, and she goes, "This is my favorite thing." So that kind of rolled into me realizing the power of the internet and the power of talking and the power of sharing.
Social media is incredible, and it's such a tool that a lot of people don't use.
What you're doing matters. Your voice matters. Your consistency matters. Something that people really need to realize is that
You wouldn't believe what you could conquer, but our mind and the fear of failure destroys more dreams than anything else in the world.
the basis of what grew my business is
I'm swallowing gum. There should be something to spit it. I see
gonna
paper
swallow
towels.
it's gone. It's gone.
Does my hair look okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you usually do half front, half back?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I feel like we could talk for so long.
Yeah,
'cause
I
we
know.
like
You're
don't.
so.
There's so much to like get
There
to know.
is. There's
Okay.
nothing needs to be perfect.
Okay.
Welcome to Bear It All with Lindsey. You guys, I'm so excited. I have my friend Kat here. And let me tell you, Kat and I met at the nail salon.
I know.
I love it. I was sitting there and I had my phone out and I'm like creating content with Madeline. And you're like, do you do social media?
I was like waiting in my head to say something to you, and I can be quiet sometimes, but I just kept feeling this urge to be like, I have to ask her what she does. What does she do? Like, I couldn't resist.
Oh my God, I love it. So we totally connected at the nail salon and we've been like social media friends since.
Yes.
So I'm so glad to have you here.
I was just joking too when I got here. I literally have not touched up my nails since
but
I
you
saw
can't
you.
tell because
You-
they're light.
You have to tell me how many times you've gotten your nails done since that time.
Oh my gosh, at least 2.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no. I did.
No, I am on a bad way.
but you literally
it's
can't
fine.
tell because they're light. So like, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah,
You know,
whatever.
and that's one of the things we're talking about today, because my nails can take a back seat because
Right.
I'm busy.
I love it. Exactly. That 100% like priorities, right?
Sure.
That's how like mine though, I get them like this color and they'll grow out and you can't really tell.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you gotta get 'em
People are
light.
like, your nails look good. And I'm like, oh, well, because you're not looking at them closely, but okay. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your story and what you do. And I learned a little bit about you at the nail salon and I was like so intrigued. I'm like, I have to bring
I love
her
this.
on.
This is such a fun story. So I've grown up in the area for my whole life in California, and I just kind of always, just with the background and basis of entrepreneurship, I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset.
Sure.
I actually joke around a lot with people that I'm not actually sure if I graduated high school. Because I wanted to work so bad that I actually left high school to pursue working, almost full time. So I went into homeschool. I got my parents to sign off a worker's permit. I was like 15 and a half, and I just really wanted that paycheck.
Right.
And my parents we were well off. We lived in a nice home in El Dorado Hills, and I never had any complaints as far as like that goes, but I just had that urge to want to make my own money.
Sure.
And so I ended up starting to work, and I got a taste of, having my own bank account. Of course, I got credit cards and blew those. I remember walking into an Express.
Oh, yes.
Remember Express?
Oh, yes.
And I got my first credit card. It was like $300, and I like racked it up, and I just felt so ick about like the debt and all of the things. But I learned a lot of life lessons on my own. And it just kept rolling into more opportunities for me of wanting more. And so I ended up taking my, it was basically like a GED, I guess,
Sure.
and testing out of high school like halfway through my junior year.
Okay.
And I mean, looking at people that are that age now being like,
They're babies.
they're babies.
They're so
I know. And in my
little.
mind, I felt so like wise, and it's just crazy to,
Right.
I don't know if it's like the society back then was in a mindset, or I think like you just have an innate mindset to,
Right.
want to do more and want to empower yourself.
I totally agree with you. I was the same way. I did homeschool. I had a work permit at 15.
Yeah.
I wanted to work. Like, I felt like school robbed me of time.
Yes.
You want me to sit in this classroom all
You're not
freaking
getting
day.
paid to go to
Right.
work.
You're not paying me. You want me to just sit here
Yeah.
and do crap that a lot of this stuff you're teaching me I'm never even going to use in life.
For sure.
Like, when does it matter who the hell was in World War II? In my life. Tell me where that's going to build my bank account.
I'll watch a Netflix documentary on that later.
Exactly. So no, I think it's the mindset. It's like, okay, you're wasting my time in this classroom. I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Yeah. So that kind of pursued me into a lot of different roles. You know, I've had tons of different jobs, but I really was always one of those people that like my friends would come to, like, you know, where do you get your nails done? Or who does your hair? Or, you know, how do you do your makeup like that? Or can you do my daughter's makeup for prom? I was never like classically trained with makeup or hair. I just had a really big passion for it. But my big break, I always call this my big break, is it's kind of funny how it came about, but and you probably don't even know this story. It's kind of like this is like Kat deep cuts.
No, I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Bring it. Let's go.
So this was like 2014 or so. Well, no, before that. I'm sorry. Like 2008. I was obsessed with Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Do you remember like the big hair bows that she would wear?
Yes.
And they were made out of hair.
Yes.
It was like her paparazzi video from 2007, 2008. And I just remember like her music, and I'm very connected and in tune with like how I feel with music and being inspired. And I just loved her. And she like was not even that big of a thing at the time. And I really wanted to go to her concert. And it was this tiny little club in San Francisco. And I was like, how can I make something fun to wear? So I went to my sink and I had some hair extensions that were under the sink. And I thought, how can I make like a hair bow? So I just like finagled this hair bow together. And it was so cute. It was like this big bow that was made out of real hair. I can
so see you with that.
It was so much
cute.
fun. So, but my entrepreneurial mind is kicking in when I got there. I had so many people that came up to me and they were like, where did you get that? How can I get one of those? Where did you buy that? And so I was like, I don't know. I just made it. So I went home and I Googled Lady Gaga hair bow and there was nothing. And I was like, I bet I could probably sell some of these. So I went back home and I just started to do what I did. And they were messy at first and I figured out ways to do it. But I also had a blog that I put a buy now button on to buy it. And I blogged about Lady Gaga. I blogged about fashion. And so that kind of rolled into me realizing the power of the internet and the power of talking and the power of sharing. And I got actually found by People Magazine, and they wanted to feature my hair bow. I did
how cool.
I did an experience with Neiman Marcus. They put it on the front of their holiday lookbook. I did tons of other things that came from it, but I sold a lot, and I was so busy doing it. But the last thing that I did that was really, really cool is Lady Gaga actually sourced over like 1,200 items at an event in New York City at Barney's. And she had picked out my hair bows because she wanted them to be there.
Oh, wow.
And so I made like 350 hair bows. And it was, so she walked people through this basically like experience situation in Barney's in New York. And all of these different items that people purchased went to a charity that she was focused on. And she did an interview with Robin Roberts. And at the end of the interview on Good Morning America, they come around to all the products. They're talking about everything. And she goes, this is my favorite thing. This is the hair bow section. And she undoes the hair bow and she puts it on. And Robin Roberts is obsessed with it. And it was just a really cool full circle moment to see like something that you created with your bare hands, like being loved by people and loved by the actual like creator that inspired me to make it. So that kind of just sparked like my fuel for social media. And I mean, I wasn't really on social media at the time. It was like, I don't even think there was Instagram. It was like Facebook.
How old were you then?
Oh gosh, I was like 23.
Okay, so young.
Yeah, and it just changed me. It just made me really want to make something or do something.
You got like a taste of success. When you get a taste of success, you're like, oh, this tastes good. I want some more of it. Yeah.
It was crazy. So, and then life got blurry because I got married and I had some kids. But after my first child, or my second child was born, social media started to take off. And I was like, I'm so bored. I'm really bored. I kind of feel lost and I want something to do. And so I saw girls were starting to go live. There was an app called Periscope. I don't know if you remember that. But girls would get on and just talk about their day or talk about makeup or clothes or cooking or parenting. And so a lot of people in my network started to use that. And I just came alive coming on camera. And it's just what I wanted to do every day. So I started doing that and everything just kind of, that was 2016. And really the history has just been since then of me growing my platform, finding products that I love to share that are building an income for me, and just really having a connection with people that follow me. That's really my main thing is I want everybody to feel heard. If someone sends me a message, I want to personally respond back to them. Like I hate when I go on influencers' accounts and they have so many comments and like nothing is commented
and they
back.
don't comment, right?
Yeah.
It's interacting with people. There's times where when I'm laying in bed, I'll be like, okay, for the next 3 hours, I'm replying to comments. And you want to do it because, they're taking time out of their day to watch your stuff. Totally. They're commenting on it, all of that. So I love that. I think that's huge.
And that's why live video, like this stuff, this live interaction. Yes. It's like if I can talk to you live and connect with you, even if there's only, 30 people watching your live versus, you post something and you get thousands of views, those 30 people are highly connected to you in that moment.
100%. They're taking that time that they're never going to get back. You don't ever get those moments back to sit there and watch your live. Yeah. My daughter, Melanie, she's a singer-songwriter, and she's been doing TikTok lives at night, and she sings songs and all that. Lives. And it's so great because it's like really connecting with your fans, and they get to like tell you what they'd like you to sing, and she sings it and all that, but it's just really that one-on-one connection with your followers.
Yes. Yeah. So truly, that is what is the basis of what grew my business is connecting with people, learning about them, really truly loving people for who they are, what they're showing up, and then teaching. I mean, I've loved to teach women how to simplify their beauty routines.
I love watching your beauty. I lay there the other night and just watched it over and over, and you just do like this perfect full face of makeup with just a few steps. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's interesting because I work in like a network marketing space.
Right.
And so there's a lot of caveats that come with that because, sometimes I'm really coaching people and helping them to, dream big or to put themselves out there. And that can be challenging for people to, for me, it comes pretty naturally. I don't really have that like button of where I get embarrassed or, I mean, my biggest hurdle is just time. And consistency.
Sure.
So it is a balance. I mean, I'm still kind of coming into figuring out like a work-life balance of, being a mom and being
like the biggest struggle, I think, with all entrepreneurs and social media influencers. We were at, oh my gosh, what is it called? I can't even think of the name of it. It's coming up. It's a conference for social media influencers.
Oh.
And they were talking about that. And they said that's the biggest thing is time and consistency, Or you'll get on a kick for like a month and super consistent. And then you have a day and you're like, man, I don't even know if I have anything really interesting to say to the world today. I'm tired.
Yeah. I do notice though, like if you really dig into those spurts of when you have energy to go, like you can skyrocket yourself in those big energy bursts. And I actually coach a lot on that is if you recognize your moods and how you kind of flow through the month, like if you feel like you're not confident on any given day and you go on social media, a lot of people say, the doom scrolling. If you're looking at someone else who's on fire, that was probably her on fire day. Right. You're not going to be on fire every single day. She might feel like crap today and she's not posting anything today, but it's just, you can't just look at what somebody else is doing and
Right.
compare yourself.
Right.
You have to find and just give yourself grace and know, like, okay, yeah, I haven't had my nails done in a month. That's okay. I'll get them done in a couple days. You know,
Right.
you got to be realistic with your expectations.
No, I love that. And so many people compare. And it is like you're on fire. There's days where I'll film 6 videos in a day.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pop it out over, or I've had days where I've like kept running back in my room and changing clothes and going to touch up my hair and then going to record so it looks like it's a completely different day because like I'm on fire that day. Or like I travel so much and I do so much things that you really have to balance it. So I love that about talking about really embracing when you have those fire days. Nobody is on fire every single day. No human in the world.
No, and if you think that they are, then you've got a serious work to do.
Right, or they're doing really good on social media, making it look like it.
Yeah, exactly. Or they've got a whole team that you can't even see.
That's usually what it is, is the whole team, the hair, the makeup, all the things. But, you know, social media is incredible, and it's such a tool that a lot of people don't use. I've been at, like, business conferences and talking to business owners. They're like, yeah, we don't really use social media. What? Okay, so if you're at 20 million a year and you don't use social media, you could probably double. You know, social media is incredible. With one post, you can reach such an audience that, I mean, it's incredible, but it also takes like a certain personality to get in front of there. In my cleaning business, we just did a whole new recruiting campaign.
Yeah.
And so how we have it is it's a funnel to where they go in and they have to take like a test and then they have to answer like questions we ask on video.
Okay.
And I never realized how hard it was for people to get on video.
Yeah.
And record themselves.
I know.
Yeah, and I until we did that, did I actually realize, because it's a norm for me and my kids too. Because like my little one, I've been doing it since she was little. So she's got it down. She's like, show me the voiceover. Okay, I got it. You know, because like they're used to it and they see it and it's like a norm for them. But so many people, it's not a norm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of what my work kind of circles back to, is just helping women build confidence and just getting that first initial thought out. So I like to focus mostly on, you know, especially if you're like selling a product, like, you know, for your cleaning business or, you know, company that we're talking about before, you don't always want to approach your product as the product. Like you want people to approach your social media as you, and you just happen to like this product. They trust you. They like you. They think, oh, Kat must, you know, Kat really, I've tried something from Kat before. Maybe I bought something on Amazon and a can opener, and I actually really liked that can opener. It was $10, right?
Right.
If they bought the can opener and they trust that I'm going to give them a good recommendation for that, why not something else? And so it just snowballs and snowballs. So I really try to get people to focus on their strengths, and it can be anything. I mean, I give people like 5 topics to choose from. They picked 5 topics, and one lady's I thought was so interesting, but 2 examples actually really took off. One was obsessed with ramen. Like she loved ramen. And people started to follow her because they also liked ramen.
Oh, how funny.
And it like sparked this little fun, encouraging thing for her. And it was easy for her to share because she loved it. And I had another lady that shared every week, she shared one of her favorite mugs. And like just the fact of her sharing a favorite mug was able to snowball her into having a successful business because she knows how to talk about a mug because she goes to Home Goods every week and buys a mug.
Right. And she connects because there's mug collectors out there. There is, I don't care what you're into, there is a group of people out there into the same thing. I mean, if you scroll through TikTok, you'll find people that eat on camera.
Yeah.
That is what they do.
I'm into coloring.
Yeah, all kinds of cool things. And they'll have millions of followers on it. There is a niche for everything.
Yes, and so that's the thing. If you're too broad, and I feel like for me, sometimes I can be a little bit broad, but I feel like when you can bounce around to other topics and you don't really need to niche down, sometimes it can work too. But finding something that really excites you. If it's reading, talking about a book, whatever it is. So, but yeah, like you said, it is really painful for people to get on camera, but
It is.
it's hard. But just finding something that brings you light, and there's so many different ways to make income online. And I think that's one of the things that sets people back is they think, I don't want to be like a walking billboard of selling something, but you don't have to
and
be.
And it's not even that. Like, it's
Yeah.
really, nobody wants that. If you see, like, I'll see people on my page and all of a sudden they joined some whatever company and all they post is this, these shakes, these medicine,
Yes.
these vitamins, these all that. You're not selling to me. If you want to sell to me, show me your life. Show me you kicking ass in
Yes.
life with this. Show me you going on all these trips. Show me that it's giving you the body or the energy you want. I want to watch you.
Right.
And if I see what you're doing, wow, okay, I want what it's the same as like
Yes.
the Kardashians, okay?
Yes.
They have millions of brands that they sell. I mean, Chloe, her popcorn is going nuts.
Yeah.
She came out with 3 flavors of popcorn. So
love
whether
that.
it's popcorn or makeup or they, clothes, whatever, it's because she sells herself, her life, her brand, who she is. So instantly, if Chloe made it, I trust it because I, follow Chloe. I connect with Chloe. All of that. So it's really like building that connection and not even worrying if you look stupid. It's you got to get past that. We all looked stupid our first time on camera.
Stupid.
We all stuttered. We all didn't know what to say. We were all way too close to the camera or the light was too bright. I remember when I first started doing it, I hired a social media coach and she's like, turn down the light. My face is like flush.
You're an angel, Chloe.
Yes, exactly. It was like glowing. But it's like you got to suck at something to get good at it. You got to just have the confidence to get out there and try it. You are not going to be great at first. You're not.
No.
And if you are, you're pretty amazing because none of us were great in the beginning.
And anybody has the come up stories. I mean, we all start from somewhere. And that's the
100%.
thing. You just have to start.
And you do have to start. And it's just like, I always tell people is get your feet there and your mind will follow. Like there's so many times, if you wait for your mind to be willing to do it, you're never going to be able to do it. You just literally have to get your feet there.
Yeah. Our minds are more powerful than we can even imagine.
It's so wild. It's so wild. And what I love watching about yourself is I never feel like you're selling. Right. So you just like share what you use. And it's kind of like, hey, if this is what I use. But I'm like so intrigued of how like a palette, you can do so much with a palette it's so wild. I was like, I'm saying that they're like really comforting. I like watch them while I'm in bed.
Yeah. Yeah. That concept is wild because it's the same thing for women. You feel debilitated. Like I don't think people would think this, but like I hate decorating like my house. I don't hate it, but it really overwhelms me.
Sure.
And like even going into Home Goods, I love going into Home Goods, but
it is overwhelming.
I just think, if I buy this, I have to buy that, and they don't match, and then this doesn't match, and if I buy a chair, it's too big, I can't return it. What do I do with it?
Yes, that's my brain for sure.
And so for makeup, I don't feel that way for makeup. I think you can try things and they're fun, but I do know that people do feel like that way about makeup.
There are so many.
It's debilitating.
Like way overwhelming. Yes, for sure.
And so the concept behind the makeup that I really grew my following on and that I used, it's a compact system. And so, you really, if you really do think about it, and if you put yourself in the mindset of thinking the last time you did your makeup, 70% of the time that you're doing your makeup, you're looking for your brush or your pencil or this color or this eyeshadow or this blush because they're all scattered, right, on your counter or in your bag.
Right, exactly. It's definitely the story of my life.
Yeah. And so what this has done is it's taken away that time of where you have to really try to find what you need because it's all right there in front of you.
I love that.
And
it's so cool.
It just has made such an easy and fun way for me to train people and to educate on using it because it is so simple. So
simplify things.
Yeah.
That's
my theme.
That's the best way to do it is
Yeah.
to simplify things. I have so many people I know that are like, well, I don't do makeup because I don't even know how. I don't even know where to begin. It's like so overwhelming. There's like so many steps. Not too long ago, my girlfriend, she's my PR team as well. And we went to Sephora and she's like a makeup, like guru, right? So she just knows all of it. And we went through and we just created a whole new makeup routine for me. And I love it, but there was so many things that we added that like I didn't even know existed, or I didn't even know I needed that step or anything like that. So it is a lot. You really need somebody to teach you. Show me your ways.
Yeah,
please.
there's so many brands, there's so many concepts, there's so many things, but
it's like, where does that even go? You know, you look at stuff and you're like, wait, is that for under my eyes? Where does that go?
Yeah. Well, and really with makeup, it's hard because the more and more that you put on, the worse and worse your skin can look. Some people just think, oh, I'll keep adding and I'll keep adding. But
cakey is a thing.
Yeah.
Cakey is definitely a thing.
Yeah, but it's, you know, for a lot of people, it's like a security blanket, and that's fine. But there is a way to, you know, I just got into sharing about skincare, and like I've never really been one to like think about ingredients or really care about what I'm buying. Like I'll just buy something because it's cute or it smells good or someone else is using it or whatever. And so I think addressing like actual like your skin first is very important too, because then you can feel more confident in your skin and you don't have to kind of hide behind the makeup as much.
Yeah, no, that's super important. Skincare is so important. When I first got sober, because I, you know, had a 12-year addiction, my skin was so bad.
Gosh.
Like when I first got sober, it was horrible. And of course, because I've been abusing it for 12 years. And so I've done so many treatments and everything that now I've really became aware of like over care for my skin. I sometimes think like the med spa is my second home.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like facials, laser, Botox, all the things. Let's just like heal it. I did the full CO2 laser. Have you seen that?
I've done that too.
Oh, you did it?
I wasn't put under. They called it a weekender.
Okay.
Yeah. Were you put under?
Under. So I got it at the same time I got my nose done. And so they put me under, and then they did my nose as well. So then they couldn't CO2 my nose.
Oh, no.
But I was like, no. I want my nose done too. So they're like, well, we can do it at the next, you know, the appointment we take your nose brace off. Girl, what did they have you on when they did that?
Oh, so I go to the Aesthetic Center in Alberta Hills. I love them. And
they did it where they burnt your whole skin off.
Yes. Yeah. So I was on, they had like ketamine and like a bunch of other things.
So like a cocktail.
A cocktail. Yeah, I was on some cocktail. I don't know. I just remember laying there thinking like this hurts, but I'm just not going to say anything. But yeah, it was, and then they have like, which I didn't see, I don't know if yours was like this, but they actually put this metal eye cover on my eye so they can get all the way up to the under eye.
Yes, they did. And they taped my eyes, like my eyelashes. It's gnarly. And then they did my nose, and they just did like a local anesthetic. Girl, I can handle pain. And I have 6 kids, and I've had several surgeries. It was so bad. And I could smell the burnt skin and all this. And I was just like, it's okay. I'm going to love the results. I'm going to love the results. It was
the hardest part is
really
after, though. Did you think?
Yeah. Did you have to soak your face in vinegar?
Yeah, and it smells disgusting, and
Girl,
it made me sick.
At Easter, I was like, you know what? We're skipping eggs this year. There is no vinegar allowed in this house.
The vinegar.
Don't bring that shit near me. You literally, you guys, if you don't know, your face is like peeling, it's like burned. Bad. And you have to like soak it in vinegar, and then you have to put the Vaseline all over, right? And so my hair was disgusting.
Tight. Oh, I put too much Vaseline on. Yeah. And I actually gave myself,
my hair was caked.
It was disgusting. I gave myself, I think, like a little reaction, and it was so itchy. Was yours itchy?
Oh, yeah. It was gnarly.
I just wanted to scratch my face off. But
it was gnarly, but it's worth it. The results were so good.
Well, and the great thing is when I was researching it, because they had approached me to influence for it. So
nice.
I shared my whole journey doing it, and I was so nervous, but I kept stumbling across posts that were like, you know, everyone talks about the halo laser, the IPL, like all the different types of lasers.
I love IPL.
And I've never had one. This was my first experience with the laser. I just went all in. And everything just kept saying CO2 is like the holy grail of lasers. And I was all right, I'll do it. And the nice thing is that, you know, even for our age, I think like they recommended only every 3 to 5 years. I mean, I guess you could do it yearly, but I'm like, okay, I can get on board with every 3 years doing something of that experience of you know, it's pretty intense.
It is intense.
Yeah, but now, I mean, I had so much sun damage around my eyes, all down here that was taken care of. So it really did. I mean, I can tell your skin looks amazing.
Great. Like I had my cheeks were really rough just because I mean, when I was out in my addiction, there was probably I could have probably went a week without actually doing skincare and all of that. Who knows what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
But so it was just rough. But you can come back. Thank God that it was able to
come back queen.
Yeah, be able to fix all those little things.
Yes.
Because when you feel good, and I say this is one of my favorite sayings, when you feel good and you look good, you execute at a completely different level.
100%.
When they say, I know that, people say looks don't matter, and it's not even necessarily looks, it's when I feel good.
Yeah.
And whatever it takes for you to feel good. I'm one of those girlies that I need lashes, I need Botox, I need hair extensions, I need spray tan, I need lip filler, I need veneers, but that's just me, and that works well for me. And when I have all those things in place, I can execute at a whole new level. So that works for me. And not that everybody needs that to execute, but it's finding what fills your cup.
Totally.
Right? And whatever that is, those little things, it's so important to you can't pour from an empty cup. And so it's taking care of you, making you feel good.
Yes.
And
celebrating that. I think that's one of the things too that people will, hide that they get things done. I've always been
they do.
So vocal about it because I'm who cares if it's making me feel better and I'm better for it? Then the haters are gonna always hate, right?
Oh my God. Well, that's another thing we didn't touch on social media. Dude, be prepared if you're on social media to get the
ridiculed.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So bad. So we did a campaign not too long ago for the cleaning companies, and they put me on it. And all the comments, oh, you guys must be so expensive for her to afford all those extensions and those eyelashes and that. Just, they hate me alive. And I'm like, maybe we'll just keep me off of the cleaning. Maybe I don't fit the brand for that.
That's hilarious.
I know, but I was like, well, you know what? Hey, all those comments, it works just as well as good comments for boosting
you know that your
stuff.
company's successful, right?
It is. Yeah. And you can't even let things get to you on social media. That's another thing is people will jump on social media on the bandwagon. And then the minute they start getting some of those hate comments, they end it. I've known a few people who have wanted to do it and they did it. And as soon as they got that, and I'm like, girl, that just means your stuff's starting to be seen. Yeah. The stuff people say. Or, and then it's funny, you get this comment and you go look at their profile and you're like, okay. You're clearly miserable. Right. You're doing nothing with your life. Never
Which is so sad.
It is sad because hurt people.
Yes.
And so nobody who's doing great in their life or happy or has found love, who has a great family, all this is on social media talking horrible to someone else. We don't operate that way, right? When life, and so it is super sad. It is sad because it's hurt people. Yeah. But you also have to know that is not to stop you. And you're going to get that in social media.
And it's human nature to think sometimes it does make you second guess something or.
That's more common than not. The majority of people are going to have that attitude.
Yes, but it's working through it. And I've noticed for me too, especially working in a industry where I'm working with a lot of women and there's a lot of, competition. And when things like this come up, you have to not give a voice to the negativity, because the moment 100%. That you give a voice to it, you're giving it power, and that's just going to keep growing. Yeah. So it's you just have to take a step back and think of, for that 3, 4, 5 comments of those negativity comments, how much positivity was there? How many people were praising you? How many connections did you have that were positive? And so, that's. Of course, we'll have a down moment.
You can't make everybody happy.
No.
You can't. Look at some of the most famous, rich, successful people in the world have so many haters. And if you don't have haters, you're not doing big enough things in your life. You're
Classic
just
Pitbull.
not.
Yeah.
Honestly, every year that I've gotten more successful, I have had more people hating. I hear rumors about me that I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't know
It's a
that.
new one.
Someone never told me that happened, but okay.
Yeah.
Like you do. And I feel like you have to be okay with that, with success. You have to be okay with not everybody liking you. Being on social media and putting yourself out there. But see, women seeing you do that gives them hope, right? If Kat can do it, I can do it. So it's like you being a leader sets example for so many women who maybe could feel like they could do it because of you, you know?
Yeah. It's a good, and I think we kind of texted and talked about, role models for our kids. Like everybody is always watching how you're reacting, how you're putting yourself out there, the time that you put in. And yeah, of course, like the times that I was building my business big, my kids were little, and I look back on a lot of things that I'm like, could I have spent more time with my kids? It's like every parent has regrets like that,
100%.
and it's hard, but at the end of the day, like I've chosen a industry that is home-based, and, I do have a lot of time freedom with my family and my kids, and it just makes such a difference to be able to have them see the fruits of your labor. But also sometimes, I don't know if this is the same for you, but I feel like I work my business so effortlessly into my life that my kids sometimes don't even realize that
Same.
that what I'm doing is paying for us to go to Disneyland.
My daughter asks me all the time,
so
my little one, what do you do to make money, Mom?
Yeah, they have no idea.
She tells me, you don't work. No, Mom does work.
Yeah.
You don't work.
Yeah.
No, Mom does. But that's I'm glad that it looks like Mom doesn't.
It's such a joy. And again, full circle, it's such a joy to be able to find something that you truly love that is bringing you an income. So
no, that's so incredible. And it's like you were talking about the building a business. It's like finding that fine line of, I want to build generational wealth. I want to build, a life to where we can live a life, beyond our wildest dreams. But I also want to spend every moment with that. So I feel like, they say entrepreneurship is spending a few years of your life like most people are not willing to, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people are not. And I remember like when I first got sober, for the first several years, I worked all the time. I took no vacations, none of that. But now I was able to build there to where the lifestyle I live now, like me and my kids, we travel all the time. That's all. People are like, do you work? And I'm like, no, I do. I'll be at the Bahamas, like on my phone, working and that's like the incredible thing is really being able to build. To me, that is the most valuable thing in the world. It's not the money, it's the time freedom. It's the time freedom that comes. Like, I want to live life on my terms. Totally. And that's something, it's actually something that most people could create if they were willing to.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's the hard part of where we are now is, you get in a crossroads of like, okay, this sounds great. I want to do it. How do I do it? And there's so many different ways that you could bring in income that it just gets really debilitating. So I think like, really digging your heels in and having a plan and picking something and going for it.
And not giving up.
Not giving up. I just had that conversation with somebody a couple days ago. Oh, it was my friend that she's becoming a Pilates instructor.
Okay.
It is hard. And I went to one of her classes and I didn't even realize, but it's like the timing and you have to be watching people and you have to know what next step. There's like 50 different steps that you have to do in a Pilates class, right? And there was a point where, it gets discouraging, but she's now coasting. It took like a month and you dig in, you learn, you grow, and you are consistent and it gets easier and easier.
It's the consistency. I see so many people that do something and then they expect it to be easy.
Yeah.
Nothing worth having is going to be easy, and you just have to have the attitude that failure is not an option.
Yeah.
And you make mistakes.
Right.
You allow yourself to make mistakes, allow yourself to fail, and just get out of your own way. That's the biggest, like when I coach people, I'm like, get out of your own way.
Yes.
You are your own limiting belief. Like if you just stop trying to overthink it, stop trying to make sense of it, all of that, and just do it, your mind will follow. So it's like, if I could just tell, so many people that get out of your own way.
Yes.
you wouldn't believe what you could conquer, but our mind and the fear of failure it destroys more dreams than anything else in the world.
Right. Well, and I think it's there's certain personality types, like clearly you have it. I feel like I have it where
Definitely.
you can do something and get it done, but the majority of people, they need to hear it. And I love being able to, like you just said, just what you explained, just having the power to be able to coach somebody through a process and, try this a different way or do this way or, learning a new skill, figuring out how to post on social media or on their stories or sharing something to their stories. So it just makes it so much more clear when you have a voice of reason that's like, hey, I'm sure going through your sobriety, I don't even really know much about like the key moment of when you were like, hey, I'm done. Did you have a coach?
I tell that story, and I didn't have a coach. I remember walking down the street, 6 months pregnant, like my feet were bleeding. I had nowhere to go. And it was like at that moment that I either, didn't want to live anymore or I wanted to get help. And I called a rehab. And then like in rehab, you have like sponsors is what they're called. That's somebody who's like been sober a long time and guides you through it. But it's the same thing as business and in life. You should always have a coach, and your coach should have a coach. And as you grow in life, who you use as a coach needs to change. You need to outgrow your coach. If you don't outgrow your current coach, you're not growing, right? So you should always have a coach, and you should always have a mentor, and you should always be doing personal development, books and classes and conferences and all of that. So even with our, personality type, we still need that, right? Everybody needs to be getting coached.
For sure. Yeah, I was always one that, I definitely skated along being naive for a really long time.
Sure.
And I didn't really feel like I needed personal development. I was in that mindset of like, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it. Like, I don't need this. I don't need the personal development. I valued it because I know that so many other people needed it. But it wasn't until I had, I think I kind of shared with you a little bit where I built a large business, and then some things changed and the structure of my business wildly changed, that I really thought in that moment, like, okay, I need some power here. Like, I need to just work through my mindset of, when everything is going great, you forget that you forget kind of like, not that you forget humility, but you kind of forget what it's like to really dig deep inside of you and know that you're capable of doing something. And one of the things that I really enjoy, and kind of how I've been able to know that what I came through was powerful, was that, I built this business at first, and, it was successful. It was great. It was fun. I loved it. And then when the turning point came to the end with that, I didn't want to give up on that same industry. I wanted to do that same industry again. And so I found a new company to work with. I dug deep in there, and I ended up being successful there. So I proved to myself that I didn't just get lucky that first time. I think a lot of us need that validation,
right?
Of like, what you're doing matters, your voice matters, your consistency matters. So I heard someone say the other day that an open mouth is an open business when you're talking and you're generating that.
I love that. Yeah.
And I really proved to myself, like I said, those spurts of energy, like I know that it was me. I know that my power is inside myself. It's not just because it was given to me. And I think that that's something that people really need to realize, is that, you're fully capable of doing the things that you need to do. And you need to recognize through personal development and through things that, this manifestation doesn't just fall in your lap. It happens because you do the work.
I love that. I love that. Well, we're going to wrap it up. And I could talk to you forever.
I know.
And I'm watching the timer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we went a few minutes over. I literally could have kept talking to you forever. I love that. I totally connected with you at the nail salon. Thank you for coming. Tell everyone how they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Fairchild Kat. That's my main hub. And send me a message. My inbox is always open. I would love to hear from
I love
anybody.
it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.